Most people today feel stressed about money. Maybe you feel that too. Studies say over 70% of people worry every single month. But here's something almost no one knows. The Bible already gave us a money plan, and it came through a man named Joseph. Joseph didn't rise because he had luck. He didn't rise because he had money. He rose because he had wisdom, order, and direction from God. Joseph used 8 simple principles that took him from prison to palace. And these same steps still work today. Yes, even in crisis. So if life feels unstable, don't panic. Joseph started at the bottom too. And his wisdom may be the turning point you've been praying for. Before we dive in, make sure you subscribe. You don't want to miss the next lessons that can change your financial future. Stay with me. You're about to learn 8 principles that can change your whole life. Principle 1. Vision before crisis. Most people react to trouble. Joseph prepared before the trouble came. He didn't save because he was scared. He saved because he saw ahead. During the good years, everyone else spent freely. They ate, they partied. They acted like nothing could ever go wrong. But Joseph thought differently. He planned for the days no one wanted to think about. And here's what happened later. During the 7 years of famine, people came from everywhere to Joseph. And because he planned, he had enough for all of them. His vision in good times protected them in bad times. Think about that. Everyone else waited until the pain hit. Joseph prepared while things were still calm. Let me give you a simple picture in real life. Imagine there are 2 families who earn the same money. One family spends everything: new clothes, new meals out, new toys. Money comes in and money goes out. Month after month, they live paycheck to paycheck. They spend everything. And there is the second one who follows Joseph's principles and saves a little. Every month, because they plan ahead, they think long term. Then a crisis hits. The first family panics because they don't have nothing. The second family adjusts and keeps moving because they have some savings in their bank account. I had a moment like this myself. My first real paycheck felt amazing. And I spent almost all of it in 2 weeks. 2 weeks later, a bill came. I had no money left and a lot of stress. That day taught me a truth Joseph lived. If you prepare in peace, you don't panic in crisis. And crisis can mean many things: losing your job, someone getting sick, or any sudden change. I'm not just talking about the kind of crisis people faced 100 years ago. I mean the real crises you face today. So let me ask you this. Are you planning ahead or hoping things just work out? Planning is not fear. Planning is faith. But vision only works when you give it a system. That leads to principle number 2. Principle 2, the percentage principle. What you save should never depend on your mood. Most people save what's left over, but here's the problem. There is never anything left. Joseph didn't save based on feelings. He saved based on a percentage. 1/5, 20%, a fixed amount, every time. No guessing. This is powerful because prosperity grows from order, not impulse. Let's compare 2 people. One person saves when they feel like it. But feelings change fast. Months pass with nothing saved. The other person saves a set percentage every week, even if it's $5, even if it's $10. 1 year later, the first person has excuses and feels regret, but the other person has progress. They've learned how to grow, and most of all, they've learned discipline. I once thought saving required big money. But saving is not about income. It's about habit. It's about discipline. If your money feels out of control, ask yourself, do I save by plan or by accident? Saving is not about how much you make. It's about how much you organize. But Joseph didn't just save. He built structure, and structure attracts blessing. Principle 3, structure attracts blessing. Here's something most people never realize. You don't need more money. You need more structure. Joseph stored grain city by city, not in one pile. He created a system. He built order. Everything he did was marked by discipline and consistency. Most people don't struggle from lack of income. They struggle from lack of organization. Money leaks out because it has no plan. Think of it like water. Pour water into a bucket with holes. It disappears fast, but pour water into a strong container. You can store it, save it, and use it well. Same with your money. Let's look at a simple real-life example. Someone starts using categories needs, giving, savings, investing, emergency. They may not earn much, but suddenly they feel peace. Why? Because structure creates clarity. Clarity creates confidence. And I remember helping a friend who felt broke all the time. We added simple categories to his spending. In 2 months, he said, I feel like I got a raise. He didn't get a raise, he got structure. And structure brings real security feeling. Here's a question for you. Is your problem income or order? You don't need more money for feeling secure. You need more structure. But even structure won't work unless you stick with it. And that's the next key. Principle 4. Consistency over emotion. This may hurt a little. Motivation doesn't change your life. Consistency does. Joseph saved for 7 years straight. He didn't stop when he felt tired. He didn't stop when people didn't understand. He stayed faithful. Most people start strong and stop fast. Think of workouts. One person hits the gym hard for 3 days, then quits. Another goes lightly, but daily. Who grows stronger? The consistent one. The same is true with money. Small steps repeated make a big difference. I tried the big push method once. 1 month I saved a lot, then 5 months passed with nothing. No progress. When I switched to small, steady steps, everything changed. This was my aha moment. Consistency seems small at first, but it builds miracles over time. So let me ask you, do you act by consistency or by emotion? Emotion won't build your future. Discipline will. But even consistent people fall into a trap when finances get good. That's next. Principle 5. Don't confuse abundance with permission to spend. Ready for a hard truth? Abundance can be more dangerous than lack. When money is tight, you're careful. When money flows, you relax. Too much. But abundance is not a pass to waste, it's a test of wisdom. Let's look at 2 people who get a tax refund. One person spends everything in 2 days, movies, food, gadgets, gone. The other person uses it to start a savings fund or pay a debt. Weeks later, one feels regret, one feels relief. Abundance reveals your character. Reveal who you are in the first place. So here's a simple question. What do you do in good seasons? Abundance doesn't mean freedom, it means responsibility. But Joseph didn't save for himself. He saved for purpose. Let's go deeper. Principle 6. Saving with purpose, not fear. Here's a powerful question. Are you saving for survival or for purpose? I know this feels deep, isn't it? Joseph saved to save nations. His savings had meaning, mission, direction. When your savings has purpose, saying no gets easier. Because you're saying yes to something bigger. Here are a few real purposes. Start a business, protect your family, give more, build something lasting, prepare for the future. I once helped a couple who wanted to start a small shop. For a year, they saved slowly. They cut little things. They sacrificed, and then they opened the shop. Purpose gave them power to stay committed. Mine was to start a business and to prepare for the future. I still have the purpose to save, to protect my family, and give more when needing. What is your purpose? Your why? God doesn't multiply fear. He multiplies purpose. And when you manage with purpose, God trusts you with more. That's the next key. Principle 7. Stewardship creates promotion. Want to know who God promotes? People who steward what they already have. Joseph was faithful in every place, as a servant, as a prisoner, as a leader. What stewardship meant in Joseph's life? Joseph consistently managed resources that were not his own. First his master's house, then a prison, and later the entire economy of Egypt. His stewardship was marked by faithfulness, integrity during temptation, long-term planning, and a deep concern for the well-being of others, not just profit or power. Promotion didn't come from luck, it came from stewardship. Think of 2 employees. One employee does the bare minimum, complains, arrives late. The second employee shows up early, works with care, stays consistent. Which one rises? The one who proved they can handle more. God works the same way. If you can't manage a little, why would God give you a lot? Ask yourself, am I managing well what I already have? Promotion is not luck. Promotion is stewardship. But the biggest key of all is the last one. And Joseph lived by it daily. Principle 8. Divine direction over human logic. This may surprise you. Your best financial tool isn't your budget. It's God's voice. Joseph always said, God gave the wisdom. You can save, you can plan, you can work hard. But without God's direction, you can still choose wrong. I've felt this in my own life. Times I rushed ahead and regretted it. Times I listened to God's quiet nudge and avoided a disaster. Here's the key. Pray before you move. Ask before you spend. Listen before you decide. Let God lead. Without God, money is math. With God, money becomes wisdom. Now let's bring all 8 together. Joseph's story shows you one simple truth. Your life changes when you follow God's wisdom, not fear. You heard how he rose from nothing. You heard the 8 principles he used. Now you can start using them too. If this helped you or resonated with you, please subscribe and tell me in the comments which principle you will start applying today. You don't have to walk this journey alone. And remember, you were not made for worry. You were made for vision. Hold on to that and move forward with wisdom.